And the new candidate for run out of Portland. You're gonna answer me, so it's confirmed for sure.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. COVID money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, them money, waste, must a man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but we got in a figure you. Take this script of money, girl, and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up in my gutter. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of it.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them no deliver. Cut up the youth, them rap and they down in our river. Member bowl money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep, and some informer friend we love like. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good morning on the Eastern timeline if you are in London and the UK. Good afternoon and welcome to your At a Glance program. It is Friday, 27th of September. I guarantee Christmas carol soon start playing and the picnic them soon start and now I'm telling you what them want for Christmas. But remember, inflation. How is everyone doing this morning? To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Sharon Bernard, Jason Kane, Miranda Ruddock, Beat and Teach, Deb, Jason Kane Bros, Karen Nemard, Sasha Lewis, Monica Wells, Sanjay Stewart, Debbie Jarvis, Patricia Matthews, Sim, Cousin Jay, Elaine Watson, Natalia Freeman. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Boy, may I tell you, it is going off all over the place. But we're going to have to keep reminding the Jamaica Labour Party, read carefully and read what is in front of you and not what you think should be there. God of grace, that problem keep fettering on Sharon Bernard. Read what is there. No, your prime minister, without taking any advice or whatever, because one prime minister seem to don't know any better, let's assume. But your prime minister used charity money to buy an expensive bond for personal Andrew wholeness. Something that should have never happened, given that the prime minister is not short of money. But even if the prime minister is short of money, the prime minister cannot use charitable fund to make personal luxury purchases. The prime minister claimed them something that was done by mistake. Question to the prime minister. Since as it was a mistake that took 4 years, about 4 years for you to rectify. The mistake would have, I would believe, been made by staff within your companies and the bank. It couldn't be just the bank alone making such mistake, because the bank would have done that on a mistaken authorization, would it not? Or is it that the bank is regulating your financial affairs? But it took 4 years for you to have that mistake rectified. Who from any of your companies or charity related to that mistake was disciplined within your company for bringing the prime minister into such a major disrepute? Now, it goes to also show the lack of administration. We're basing it, Prime Minister, on the fact that you say it's a mistake. It also shows a massive lack of administration and management within your company, Prime Minister, to do with your financial affairs. Because such a mistake was made. And it had to be pointed out to you by the Integrity Commission. It seems as if you never pick it up, or the bank pick it up. But how did it took so long though? Why did it took so long to rectify what you claim to be a mistake? And it's more than once. Mistaken money get thrown into your bank account. I wonder if this mistaken money, people money were just lose out at NCB. So if any of them mistaken money end up in the Prime Minister's account, because money end up in the fine SSL, you know, and we don't know for what reason, or the Prime Minister apparently can't talk for what reason. But the Prime Minister mistake them shows the lack of competency of the Prime Minister and his staff running his businesses and his financial affairs. Anybody allow such mistake to run on for so long. When that mistake is spotted, I'm sure that manager is going to get rid of you because you have brought the company into disrepute. You have left the Prime Minister open to questionable criminal behavior. If we are to accept the Prime Minister's argument, who within your company took the rap for all of these mistakes that ended you up here, Prime Minister? But we'll get back to them. We want to ask the Jamaican dancehall entertainers, have any of you ever visited Diddy Party? Has DJ Khaled ever invited you, any of you, to Diddy Party? And to Beanie Man, how often you and Diddy met? And how long of a friendship you and Diddy have, Beanie Man? And all the others, Tommy Lee and whoever else met Diddy. Have any of you ever been to Diddy's party? Have any of you ever been to Diddy luxury hotels, whether in Jamaica, US, anywhere in the Caribbean, wherever? Have any of you ever visited? It will come out, you know. If anything goes so, it'll go drip, drip.
I just came in from Guyana. Okay. In the jungle. Yes. I'm gonna get some gold. Yes. And something. Yes. I'm gonna forward that here say, yes. In competition. Yes. And I give it 20,000 US or something. Yes, yes. So me reach out. Okay. Man, long time I don't see you though. Yeah. Long time. Everything good? We hear everything's good. Okay, I know you been making money. I want you to show. Can I see? Can I see where you from and how they get down? I need to see it live. I've never seen it.
Just wondering, Beanie Man. We're just wondering, Moses Davis. And to any of you who know DJ Khaled a friend, has DJ Khaled ever invited any of you to any of Diddy FREAKOFFs? Just asking. Why we not ask? It's going down, is it not? But the analysts, them I say, I'm going to correct on the analysts because when I found over nationwide there, when I tend to put out something one want people to follow. Over here, so nationwide, so our job is to tell people about the propaganda wanna push. Analysts cite poor messaging for slipping perception of JLP government. No, nationwide. Oh no, this is not poor messaging. How poor messaging you getting at this? Explain to us nationwide how labor right I got dress up a message to support a criminal that will sell to the nation. It's not poor messaging, it's lies. There's a difference to poor messaging and lies nationwide. Poor messaging, I would agree, is what is coming from the People's National Party. But poor messaging not coming from the Jamaica Labour Party. They have a lot of narrative nationwide. The issue they're having, their narrative is not based on a message. A narrative nationwide have to be based on a message. The Labour Party in this current debacle have no message for the people. Therefore, they are just going to sink in a swelter of lies. It is why their perception are slipping. It's not because them can't find a way to send a message to the people. No. The Labour PR was good at that before the axe fall right at the tree root. So it's not poor messaging. It's the deliberate lies that are affecting them. Everybody will wake up to realize that the lie is too much and too blatant. Even people out there with layman knowledge is understanding that this is too shady a dealing for a prime minister. It is really too shady a dealing for a prime minister. So therefore, they have to reinforce things with lies. Lies that the nation know are lies. It's not lies that the nation believe then that we're going to fight against corruption. We're going to fight against crime. We're going to make sure your windows and doors are open. But look at the two most problems you have with this government who pledge against those things to fight against crime and corruption. These are the two most rampant issues for the nation in this current administration. So no, nationwide, it's not poor messaging. The lies are coming. You ever hear say the chickens are coming home to roost? Have you ever heard the phrase, the chickens nationwide coming home to roost? The lies are coming back to haunt the Jamaica Labour Party. It's not lack of messaging. They were always good at messaging and optics. But when a lie is so plain in front of everybody, daylight lie, daylight robbery by the Prime Minister, robbing a charitable organization for his personal purpose. Robbing a charitable organization for the Prime Minister's personal gains. It's not something that the Jamaica Labour Party can defend. It is not defendable. It really isn't. But when you listen across the airwave, my God, they are flattering to make sure they provide a defense. But none of them cannot explain what they're defending. And this is why nothing is getting through from them nationwide. Because they cannot come to the people with lies when there is information in black and white for the people to view themselves. The deliberate side reading The deliberate pick and mix reading. Those are who in the UK understand. The pick and mix sweetie them were what Woolworth used to sell. It's the pick and mix attitude of the Jamaica Labour Party in relation to the report. Rather than viewing the report holistically, them pick and mix and them realize that them rely upon one piece of blunder from Keisha. Because Keisha said she not charge him. She not refer him for prosecution for lying about the bank accounts. Wanna use that to close the entire investigation. Wanna deliberately sidestep the real issue. I hear Everett Wilmington regularly have this issue. A lot of Jamaica Labour Party supporters regularly have this issue about where this argument come from about illicit sex. You even heard Juliet Holness in Parliament in March striking Angela Brown-Burke comment from Hansard because she don't know what Angela is talking about. As according to Juliet, there is nothing submitted in this parliament with the phrase illicit sex. But us, the readers of the report, know that it is not true. The 2022-2023 report make reference to 6 members of parliament under investigation for illicit enrichment, thereby the illicit 6. In the 2023-2024 report, while we were waiting to find out who they are, what we found out that 2 more has been added, thereby 8 members of parliament under investigation for illicit enrichment. It's not a made-up phrase by PMP. It's not a made-up phrase by civil society. It is in the IC annual report, illicit enrichment. Yes, it's there. The sad reality is the Labour people then don't recognize that that is there. None of them recognize it's there, because up until now, they're questioning where this whole illicit sex come from. You just have to read the 2 annual reports. It's there. Nobody now make it up. Nobody not making it up. It's in the report. It is in the report. The Prime Minister was aware, and let's look back at Daniel's timeline.
For months, and I sat down and I looked at the dates. For months, we were at that point where we said nobody knew if they were being investigated. The Integrity Commission didn't send a letter. I don't know. Nobody has said anything to me. When you look at this report, the initial communication was September 30th, 2022. regarding the omissions in the 2021 statutory declaration. There were follow-up requests to provide additional information and corrections. February 23, 2023, March 6, 2023, March 12, 2023, April 4, 2023. He was interviewed on January 12, 2023. Further meetings and interviews were had, and a significant meeting was had on the 31st of August, 2023. A letter was sent on May 5th, 2023. I'm going to make sure I write them down because we don't want to make no error. A letter was sent on May 5th, 2023, informing him of the referral received for investigations regarding his 2021 statutory declarations, and the referral raised concerns about potential illicit enrichment and other issues. So here is the problem. Even if we're not concerned about the veracity, the truth in these documents, I am concerned that my leader, Dr. Andrew Holness, did not tell me as a voter, as an individual, as a citizen, that he knew that he was being questioned. All this time we were operating under the pretext that this was a deputy. Nobody know nothing about it. No, when you look at this report, and this is when you want to ask for facts, if you
Sorry,
don't think the
people,
most
my system
important,
is freezing.
the honesty. The truth is important because you made me feel that nothing ever goes so. And if you have interviews, you have emails.
Sorry, my people, there's some issues with that, but I'm going to break from the Andrew Holness and come to Britain for a minute when it comes to issues of child protection, pedophile, the BBC, and how the BBC and the state deal with pedophiles in high society. This young lady gave a good explanation. Let us listen to her.
Former BBC News presenter Hugh Edwards was found with 377 or so images of children on his phone, 41 of which were deemed indecent. One of those images was of a child between the age of 7 years old and 9 years old. The majority of them were of children between the ages of 13 years old and 15 years old. Right. Hugh Edwards gets paid around, his salary is like around £475,000 a year to £489,000 a year approximately. He was the highest paid BBC employee, I believe, or news presenter from what I know. He was sentenced recently, the other day. I didn't make a video about it when I first heard about it because I feel like whatever I would have said would have ended me up, would have ended with me having the jail sentence that he should have gotten. So he got a 6-month suspended sentence, 6 months suspended custodial sentence, so he doesn't go to jail. Instead, he needs to do some kind of course, and he's going to be on the sex offenders register for 7 years. Now, what I want to talk to you about is not so much that, but it is that. It's the fact that the judge felt like it was punishment enough that his reputation is now in tatters, and he doesn't think that, and he feels like the judge felt like Hugh could be rehabilitated. But what I want to understand is, I thought you said prison was rehabilitative. But we've always known that prison was punitive, as in prison is a punishment, right? But you've sold us the idea that people are being sent there to be rehabilitated and this, that, and the other. Why can't he go then? Why is he allowed to not go? And obviously, we realise that prison, the people that end up in prison, it's a class issue. Prison is a class issue, as well as a race issue and all of that. But it's a class issue because we do not tend to send rich men to jail, no matter what they've done. It's very rare that we send rich men to jail, right? And I feel like it's interesting that when he gave his statement, his statement as to what happened and why he ended up being the kind of person that he is, he said that in his childhood, his father was monstrous. Like how his father presented to the world was not how he treated the rest of the family. And that deeply affected him psychologically. Okay, we know that. We know that people who are abused can oftentimes end up becoming their wound and also abusing in one way, shape or form. We've seen that across the board. Now, this is the part that gagged me. He said, aside from that, the disappointment of not getting into Oxford University and having to go to Cardiff University was what sent him over the edge. Baby, what? What? Oxford University. You see, because I also didn't go to Oxford University. I didn't apply. But you see, like, I've faced rejection in my life in so many different ways. And what does not come to my mind is, you know what? Because I faced this rejection, you know what I'm going to do? I want to see images. I want to see indecent images of children. There are also many people who applied for Oxford University and didn't get in. And they didn't go, you know what? Let me be a paedophile. So it's not adding up. But that statement wasn't ever for us. That statement was a class indicator that this is the level I'm at. This is what I expected to be doing with my life. And so that was meant to appeal to the judge, not to us. Now, the next thing I'm going to say, you might say is defamatory. I don't know, whatever. But I feel like there is a secret society. There are many secret societies across the world, but especially in Britain, where men of a specific type of societal status, of a specific kind of like echelon in us, in this sphere or in these various spheres, that they support each other. They've got a brotherhood, a siblinghood, whatever you want to call it, because I know the women are involved as well. And they support each other when things like this happen. They do it a lot. I think, would be really scared to realize just how many PDF files are in our society, from the very top, Prince Andrew, to the very bottom. When we think about overwhelmingly, the pedophiles in the UK specifically are white men. Yet that's not, we rarely see images of those plastered across newspapers. And look at how, in this situation with Hugh Edwards, they're dealing with it gently. You lot aren't calling the guy a Ross Clark pedo, which he is. Philip Schofield, also, dash him in there as well. All the men that you have, not all the men, a few of the men that you have presenting the news to us presently and historically are PDF files. They're nasty guys. And I just feel like the judiciary is not going to give us the justice that we deserve in order to protect our children. I feel like if I was a judge and I found out that you had indecent images of children on your phone, and then you're telling me that the reason that you had indecent images of children on your phone is because you didn't get into Oxford University, I'm jumping over the table. I'm jumping over the table and I'm whacking you with a gavel. But that's just me personally. Maybe it's just the Peckham in me. But I just think it's disgusting that these men protect each other. And I just wonder, if Hugh Edwards didn't have the money that he has, the status that he has, the reputation that he had, what would happen then? So if we're not going to get the justice that we need in order to protect our children in this society, well, I just feel like the universe has a way of balancing itself out. Now, this is a random statement, not connected to anything that I've just said. I feel like if the universe decides to balance itself out because you're at one of these parties that people are pretending that you haven't done what you've done, and somebody is used as the physical vessel to do the balancing that the universe needs, then I won't be mad at it. I won't be mad at it, but that is not related to anybody in particular. But I don't think enough is being done to protect the children in this world, and one way or another, we're going to protect the children in this world.
Not much has been done to protect the children in this world, whether it be Britain, Jamaica, the United States. Our children, them just go missing just in a thin air, just like that. But you realize there's a lot of Epsteinic society, because even if P. Diddy one I get crumbled. But let's get back to the dragons of our country. Advocate Network, Jamaica, Council of Churches, concerned about political heat following the IC. This is not political heat. I don't call this political heat. This is direct attacks and intimidation coming from the Jamaica Labour Party in relation to the IC. And this is not the first. Whenever time the IC makes a ruling against the Prime Minister in particular, the IC always come under a barrage of attack. We see those attacks in our parliament. We see the attacks outside of the IC office by way of demonstration. It is a ploy to silence the IC. But what about FID? Will FID be able? FID and TAJ is under Nigel's ambit. FID and TAJ will be reporting to Nigel if it doesn't meet the threshold of submitting their investigation to the Director of Prosecution. Can we trust that same corrupt Nigel to oversee the appointment of the head of FID in order for an independent investigation to be carried out in the Prime Minister's financial affairs? You see why we need a general election? I don't know if it's the storm that's in Florida is bothering Debbie. You know, I'm not getting through to her and she's not on the live, but I keep trying to get in touch. Remember, Florida, upon the stormy front. Don't know if her area is being affected, but we'll try to get update as soon as we can. The Labour Party, it's not about toning down. The Labour Party must pull back from the deliberate attack on the IC integrity, the continuous of making it out as the IC is a People's National Party affiliated organization. I mean, in relation to Pamela Monroe Ellis, Pamela Monroe Ellis have been doing her job as Auditor General for quite some time before Ono bring her into the IC when Ono meddle everything. So why all of a sudden Pamela Monroe Ellis a PNP? Why all of a sudden the work of the IC is PNP? So what about when the IC make ruling against PNP? Would them be Labour? We have to become Jamaicans. We have to see and do things as Jamaicans. Otherwise, we are going to be in this continuous phase of because I'm a PNP, are because them are JLP. And once the government says yes, so we want it to be, they are going to enforce it that way there. Meaning, so when them in a power, even if them do, them are going to do for them party. Them not going to do for the country. A government is not elected to serve their party. They're elected to serve the country. But we see even in the burial galangin, that partisanism come out. It's not just burial. It happened in Gilbert. It happened in Ivan. It happened on both sides of the political aisle. Because literally, both of them just hold we hostage for 80 odd years. We as a people have been held hostage by both political parties. And if you want to prove, if you want to tell me say me wrong, look on your road, look on your light, look on your water, look on your school, look on your hospital, look at your town centers, and tell me if us the people haven't been held hostage for over 80 years, when both political parties over that cycle, members have come and gone and have enriched themselves in the process from both sides of the kind. The enriching out of the public purse is not a PNP or a JLP thing. It's our political system, whichever one of them did raid with budget. Whichever one of them did serve the private sector above we. Whichever one of them did serve the international investors above we. Whichever one of them did serve their puppet pulling string masters above we. Both sides have held us hostage for over 8 decades. Both sides have held us hostage. Both sides have had its fair share of scandals. Both sides have had its fair share of corruption. It is us, the people of Jamaica, though, in the middle, feel the brunt of all the bad decisions of the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. Look at where we were in the late 70s and 80s, infrastructure-wise, industry-wise, to where we are now. Our education system then were full of pre-trained teachers. A lot of teachers when I go university, them just graduate out of high school or college bright. And them come back in our schools and then produce a lot of students with good grades to go on and do great things in Jamaica and internationally. Look at our education system now. We can barely retain the teachers. I don't know how you do. The easy dirty brown. Go on. We can barely retain teachers these days to keep our system going and to keep our grades up and keep attaining. This failure is not because of the current government that's in now. This is a failure of both governments on both parties on both sides of the coin. When PNP in there, them don't whether with school, with hospital, with JPS infrastructure or water infrastructure, there's no maintenance or improvement. Everything just left to fall apart, Kevin Davis, Ivan Riley. Everything just left to fall apart, just like that. Cornwall Regional will fall apart, never fall apart, just like that. It has been there for years without any maintenance. But year in, year out, money is being swindled out of our national purse. Year in, year out. The umbrella group of churches call on parliamentarian to sign the integrity leadership code. Hey. Just now. How long? You see me telling you, say, me and the church can't plant Gungo line. Look how long we are called for JLP sign the code of conduct. Why you never say JLP? Why you say parliamentarians? Because if you dare listen to the news, woman, you would hear the Mark Golden and for him bunch sign it already. And when, if and when Mark Golden and his team is elected, all of his team will have to sign it. So how come on now on a call for Andrew and him team sign the code of conduct? You see how Cliff him writing? Integrity leadership code. Because if no one talk, you say, at the code of conduct where Andrew and him team refuse to sign because them can't guarantee we say them now go thief far away. The church just a wake up to what we've been asking over about 2 years now. Like seriously. Other wicked woman you beat and teacher, she sit on the constitutional review. But look on when them have come out. When the fire hit the roof, we out here in civil society, we have been calling Pauline Dixon, how you do? We have been calling June Plum 26, how you do? We have been calling on the Prime Minister and his team for about 2 years now to sign the code of conduct. Don Fox morning. And you mean to say, oh no, just come out now? Oh no, just come out now and ask parliamentarian to sign the code of conduct. Have you never heard that Mark Golden and his team signed it? But Andrew and his team refused to sign it? So you should make a direct appeal to the Jamaica Labour Party, the ruling party, the members of government to sign the Integrity Commission, the Code of Conduct. Even though Cliff wants for this start and call it Integrity Leadership Code, call it the name what we know it by Cliff and what we commonly know it by the Code of Conduct. Because they started writing Cliff Adodo. So Mr. Cliff and Clyde Williams. But before we get to Clyde Williams, we're not just find that out. Improved PNP communication will increase public confidence, said the spokesman. We're not just find it out from the time we talk, PNP need to be more robust on their communication. You mean say, not just wake up? Why the people them what we choose some people for sleep on the job. Well, if one did that foreign at work, one wouldn't get the sack because sleeping on the job is gross negligence. Is a gross dismissal offense. But these are the people who get job in Jamaica. How long we talk the PNP communication need to be more robust. And now, uno assist uno to improve on the communication. Boy, me tell you how uno late. 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 Let's listen why the Prime Minister should resign.
Total breakdown of trust in the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was asked publicly if he was aware of any member of the Jamaica Labour Party that was under investigation for illicit enrichment. His answer was that he asked far and wide and nobody indicated so. What we found out yesterday in the report is that from May 2023, he was written to formally by the Integrity Commission to indicate that he was under investigation for illicit enrichment. Further, from the chronology of events, he has been in touch, his lawyers have been in touch with the Integrity Commission in relation to the said investigation. So when he says to the public he has asked far and wide and he doesn't know, he misled the public. So the question I have, what can I believe the Prime Minister on tomorrow, the next day or next week? I can't take his word as Prime Minister. That's the first reason. The second reason, the Integrity Commission has said they have gone as far as they can, but they can't draw a conclusion in relation to illicit enrichment. Why? Because some of the information they need, the Prime Minister did not provide. They have then said they're going to refer to the Financial Investigations Division, which deals with the investigation of financial crimes. So they obviously believe that based on all the information, they used an international forensic accountant to assist them. They believe it rises to that level because the FID only deals with financial crimes. Now, you've gone 3 years without certification. After an investigation where you have not provided the information for the Integrity Commission to conclude, the Integrity Commission said, I'm going to refer you to the FID. We must have a Prime Minister who remains under this cloud without resolution for this period.
Just before I go to Marlon Morgan on that point, though, because again, aren't you getting ahead of yourself?
Not at all.
Because you're saying
not at all.
The referral is, you seem to be coming to the conclusion that financial crime is involved. The reality is that the investigation was about illicit enrichment, and to bring it to a close.
But the reason they can't close it is because he hasn't provided the information there about.
That's not the only reason. The director specifically said that due to remit and lack of resources of his office.
And he also said in relation to expenses that they would want to determine whether his income is commensurate with it, that he didn't provide the information. The first is that there's a total.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who was openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica. where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
A very dark day for Jamaica indeed, when our Prime Minister it has turned out that our Prime Minister has used charity money to buy expensive luxury wealth. Very dark day. Very dark day indeed. And to those of you, including the Prime Minister, who wants to continue to play with charity money, Naomi Campbell used more than £7,000 out of your charity just for luxury life. You cannot take people money under the guise of charity, whether on Naomi Campbell, Wilford Rattigan, Andrew Holness. That's not how charity money ought to be used. But me hear Wilford Rattigan said something last weekend. There's some technicality, Wilford Rattigan, with our bank, and we're not collecting donations for now. Can I tell you, Wilford Rattigan, that's a lie that you've told your audience with regards to collecting donation? That was another lie you told last Saturday when you tell the people, so because of some technicalities with your bank, you're not collecting donation at the moment. That's not true, Wilford. It is so not true. I keep telling you, tell the donors the truth, Wilford Rattigan. Don't come out here, come blame the bank because you effed up, Wilford. Don't do it. I'm still out here, all right? Just a bit of warning. Kind of like to tell lies. Uno Andrew Holness, say a 4-year Andrew Holness take for correct this year galangin. A 3-year Naomi Campbell under the scope for and see a British judge ban her. It must be about 9 years or how much from ever being a trustee of our trust, of our charity, because Miss Campbell's not trustworthy in how she uses the trust money. So Miss Campbell don't have power to authorize the use of money anymore because she don't have that power within our organization. And we're talking about the Prime Minister of Jamaica, who used over 32,000 US dollars from charity money to help buy maturity bond, where the Prime Minister make a lot of money off of. Because when you buy them bond there, you make money. You don't buy them for buy sake. You don't buy them for buy sake. You buy them for money. The Nolan principle, the code of conduct where the Prime Minister and his team refuses to sign. Where the church a call upon parliamentarian to sign now. No, not parliamentarian. Labour parliamentarian. The PNP them already signed it. Unless Mark Golden I tell we lie. But the PNP them claim them already signed it. So call upon the Labour them to sign it. We are called for 2 years. Wanna just wake up because I don't know if Andrew withdraw our friend from Uno, make Uno grumble all of a sudden. Because the mouth did lock for a long time, you know. Uno mouth did shut for a long time. So I don't know where Andrew draw fan down no foot. Don't know from where the church just come out and grumble. So come out and talk plain up front and stop the grumbling round corner. I wonder if any of coming on if we say Nigel hand round leeching waist and leeching hand over Andrew Holness' shoulder. Both Nigel and Andrew have done some dodgy things with charity and money. Leeching, the banker, the wash pan holder, the scrubber board and the blue soap carrier, leeching, is hugging and be hugged. Leeching ought to be investigated. Leeching organization ought to be investigated. Leeching ties with SSL ought to be investigated. Mr. Golden and Peter Bunting ties with Andrew Holness must be investigated. We don't want no more crook. We now go get up and go elect a Keir Starmer overnight to come cut pensioners' right to heating and go pay money to kill children. We're not going to elect anything like that because we're fed up. We want to know that people who we are going to elect, them can be held to their words and not just to flattery. Well, Clyde Davis and PMP have difference of opinion nationwide. Had difference of opinion, yes. Because nationwide narrative is that Clyde said the IC act unlawful in declaring the Prime Minister Galangin. Clyde is hitting back. Not what I said. It's the postponement of the determination as to whether to clarify that I considered to be unlawful, not the non-clarification. Let me stop there, Clyde. You cannot believe that something is unlawful. That's not how the law works. The law doesn't operate on your belief. It doesn't operate on how you feel. It operates on black and white letters or given meaning or definition. That's how the law works. At Nationwide Radio, you guys must stop bending what people say to suit the government and JLP. Going to stop coming to your program. So, Clyde has said, when him talk nationwide, I fix it for suit Labour Party. Given that we know Williams is a PNP supporter and has worked for the PNP, but nationwide seem to be trying to twist dirt. Or may I understand it wrong, Beta and Teach? Am I understanding it right? But then again, we see from the report came out, the behavior of Cliff Hughes is about fixing it to suit the Prime Minister, which the nation is not interested in. The nation is not interested in that. Even those who cannot read Cliff. I mean, a lot of us across the airwaves are given some fair reporting on the issue. Some people in the mainstream media are giving fair reporting and breaking down the issue. So the narrative one are run around with in order to distract people or to prop up the Prime Minister, it really isn't watching. It really isn't watching at all, you know. But them continue with the lies and the mischief. But no amount of lies or no amount of useless defense will not come out with the Prime Minister thief charity money. The Prime Minister thief charity money. The Prime Minister can sue me if he want. But the Prime Minister needs to come prove that he never steal charity money until I see catch up on him. Just prove that. DJ Architect, sometimes dry bones in wilderness make noise, you know. But never mind Vegas. I wonder if Vegas has been to any of P. Diddy freakouts. Because Vegas is no stranger to freakouts, you know. You just have to remember the Peter King tapes. You just have to remember the Peter King tapes to know that Vegas, as somebody will come from the freakout world. But don't take much of anything they said. The truth is they are scrambling. And the more they scramble, is the lower they become and the more people see through all of them. You cannot defend this Prime Minister. There is nothing there to defend. The minute you think you are defending the Prime Minister, you're doing a disservice to your integrity and your credibility. That's why we have to remind you and show you these people. So when you all go to the poll, you remember them. You remember those who throw their integrity under the bus that run over the Prime Minister.
That I stand in full support
of the best Prime Minister
since 1962.
Is the man of integrity, love,
and I am very lucky to have an outstanding Prime Minister, a leader that we can be so proud of.
The transformation. I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had. Southwest St. Elizabeth is in full support.
Ladies first.
of the most honorable, I should say, Dr. Andrew Michael Onis.
How could I not support a leader who is moving Jamaica?
Floyd Green is not the entire Southwest St. Elizabeth a solicit sex from young girls with laptop. No, Mr. Green. Not all of us. We know that you are doing it. But no, Mr. Green, the rest of us aren't. So the rest of we now go fall over and bend over like how the entertainer and the rapper them are bend over for P. Diddy. We're not going to do it. So don't come tell we say Southwest St. Elizabeth support Andrew Holness. Are you saying we're use laptop solicit front to Floyd Green? Because it's what you do. Are you saying we support you in that as well? If you want to say we support Andrew in a scamming, tax evasion, racketeering, scamming and fraud conspiracy, Mr. Green? That's where you want to drag Southwest St. Elizabeth. I'm sure Parity is not on board with you. I mean, there are few in a Parity who are blind like the rest of Labour then. Where I go support and make the excuse. But the ordinary people see it for what it is. Vegas, if I you this, no, me never go to Vegas. Me ask you if you're gonna because me know you used to the Peter King Galangin. And me want to know if Beanie Man go there. Me want to know if Sizzler go there. Me want to know if Buju Band. All on a college friend. Yeah. We want to know if Diddy Island or down. All on. The all I hope I'm not selling a soul, you know. I hope I'm not selling a soul to on the backside, forgetting the entertainment and the music industry. Ask Vegas about it. Have you ever heard the word breed me Peter King? Huh? Have you ever heard that word? Ask Vegas about it. So, PD the FREAKOFF is nothing strange to Vegas. Vegas used to be at Peter King's FREAKOFF, you see, so never mind that. But no, Floyd Green, not all of us. No, not all of us. But the whole of Southwest St. Elizabeth. From where? Huh? The thief them will support you.
Is in full support.
Ladies first.
Of the most honorable, I should say, Dr. Andrew Michael Onis.
How could I not support a leader who is moving Jamaica forward?
Andrew Holness, continue to be the leader you are.
And I'll do everything in my powers to ensure that he
lead until he is ready to go.
Prime Minister and party leader, Andrew Holness.
No, that is Darrell Vaz who should have been in prison, you know. Darrell Vaz should be behind bars for graping and unaliving Diane Smith. And they're standing here talking about integrity. Norman Dunn, as we found out in March, that Nigel Clark and Norman Dunn is swindling state money through empty buildings. We also found out how much money has been missing from Faval Department. We also found out how much money has been missing from Christopher Tufton Department. I mean, these are the thieves that are coming out to protect another thief. We're aware Colonel Charles would see him 80 black cats, because whether you give away 80 black tanks, Michelle, or 80 black cats, we don't know the difference. Whether it's 80 black cats or 80 black tanks, how that helps when your prime minister stole over 32,000 US out of charity money? How your prime minister stole 32,000 US dollars from a charitable fund, and you think this man is honorable? You think this man has integrity? The prime minister wife in front of court for thieving, and you think that is integrity? The prime minister has drawn his mother, father, and children and sister into his monetary crimes or his financial crimes, and you think that's a man of integrity? I mean, then if he's a man of integrity, I don't know where we're going and where we hope to end up. Don't know where we're going and where we hope to end up, because the string of thieves, the amount of money Darrell Vance, a 150 million Darrell Vance take by Portland and mash it up. After by Portland, the whole of the prime land them in a East Portland, under them control, sold off to Darrell very cheap. All of the prime beach land in a East Portland. Yeah. Because it is a racketeering group. It is a criminal organization, and they're all working against us. They are all working against us. But leeching with the wash pan, you're not free from where you're going. Because Andrew in a money laundering, Nigel in a money laundering, Norman Dunn in a money laundering, and we want to know how much help Leachin give these three politicians what we sure say involved in a money laundering. These three politicians, Andrew, Nigel, and Norman Dunn, we're sure these three are involved in money laundering. Who is helping them? Which financial institution is assisting the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, and MP Norman Dunn in their money laundering? Tell me, say, the shady dealings, what UNO do with money, I'll appear how much for empty building is not money laundering. Or why we should be paying millions for empty building, prove that's not money laundering. The Prime Minister just has send money from corner to corner so in an account, prove it's not money laundering. The Prime Minister washing money through his parents' account, prove it's not money laundering. Nigel Clark money and charity money just going to Nigel Clark charity so near to election and a flood out after election, prove it's not money laundering. So we know Nigel Clark is involved in money laundering. We know the Prime Minister is involved in money laundering. And we know Norman Dunn is involved in money laundering. Prove to us, just prove to us that you're all not involved in money laundering, because we're not going to stop Satan. I'm sure you can't sue me, because you're all money launderers. Which financial institution is assisting you? Leeching with the wash band, the scrubber board, the blue soap, and the scrubber brush. Yeah. Leeching with the Dettol, Leaching with the sauce, not leaching with the starch. The big old wash pan leaching. But me don't know if me come on for drive time London. If anything break on me, I come on, I know we know, but me I go come on this evening though. But me I go cook some Friday food, you know, cause fish fry over now, you know, so I have to cook my own galang in. Me I go fry some fish and just cut up onion pan them. Me nah browns for them. Me just cut up raw onion pan them. That's just how I want them. And mash some potato and pumpkin. And then cook some okra, just okra alone, as a side dish. That is what I'm going to do now. So thank you all very much for being here. Support the program by liking and sharing, please. We can do better with a finger, you know. Make sure nothing done wrong with a finger. I guarantee you all that nothing done wrong with a finger. So you can hit it. Just hit the like button. I mean, you don't have to really pay to do that. You don't have to really pay to do that, do you? It's just a hit. So, I go prepare my Friday brunch now. Hope you all had an exciting day. Well, it looks like we're in a global storm because from what we in the rain as well, because there's flash floods in some places in the UK as well, because we have a 24-hour downpour, which was plenty of water drop. But I'm telling you all the while, when there's a storm in the Atlantic, and on that side of the Atlantic, you see, once it gets to North America, it starts chucking rain on this side of the isle as well. It was same thing the other day in Beryl as well. But it's something that I have followed every hurricane season. We do get this. Once you see a storm or tropical storm or hurricane goes through the Caribbean, once it go to Mexico and Florida, we automatically on this side of the Atlantic, because remember it's moving up northwards, us on this side of the Atlantic automatically start getting downpours. And we have been getting downpours for probably about the last 24 to 36 hours now. So, we say sunshine there, Canada from yesterday. Well, Philly sun just peep out sometime and then the rain just tower down. But today, from Wednesday we've been having downpours. But yesterday it chucked itself down really yesterday. Really chucked itself down yesterday. So we know that Florida is being affected. Not getting much from Debbie Jervis. I don't know if she's in the direction. Abena, are you anywhere within the storm region? Is there anyone on here? I think who else? Who was here in the storm region? Was it Marcia? Hold on, let me see. Somebody is here in the Florida region where the storm, where the bad weather butter. Who was it again? Who was it? Somebody's here though. Oh, you're still in JA. Okay. Yeah, we hope Debbie Jervis is fine because cannot get through to her. England will always a suspect. That's true. That's true. That's true. But may always read it in line with the every storm we get this downpour. Once it gets start moving up north, we tend to get these downpours as well. There was not too much sun in Canada yesterday. Okay. Yeah, the weather yesterday was really chucked water down because there's quite a bit of flooding in a lot of places in the UK yesterday, in a lot of the low-lying areas, because the J&M couldn't swallow up the way the water was chucking down fast. The J&M couldn't swallow up the water. And it's the same thing a lot of places in Jamaica as well, because although in a parrot is full of water as well, them get all of them drum and things them full up, because even though they may get back electricity, water is still a problem. School closed in my constituency. Wow. Yeah, the flooding would affect an awful lot. And generally, so once rain start, Jamaican have a goat mentality, where once rain start, everybody park and find a shelter until them reach England and realize, oh, you just have to coexist with the rain, because if you wait till rain done for go out a door, you can't in a house wait for the rain for done for weeks and days, because rain can really fall in England for weeks. I mean, unstopped for weeks. So, like how you can shelter from rain out there, in Britain, we have to coexist with the rain. We have no choice, because when rain fall, and rain not stop, the rain feel like stop. So thank you all for being here. Join me back later. So I'm going to cook some food and feed my sick body and get on with it. Afternoon from Global Television.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for...
Well, I managed to hear from Debbie Jervis. She's doing fine, even though in the bad weather, a lot of power outages are in her zone as well. So she's okay, but the weather situation is not a nice one at the moment.
Support. This is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.